reports on the rise of the anti-gender movement, the conservatism. Like, everyone has done these reports. I don't know, 100 of them for sure exist. And then we somehow got stuck at that level of analyzing what they do, who they are, and all of that, and just being very repetitive about it. And how come that we were not able to make a step further to prevent some of the things which were so obviously coming? And we knew that not from last year or this year, almost a decade of these processes we've been observing. So it has been slow but very visible, very obvious on what will happen. And we still have not, and this is because we are here in a safe space, this is very important to say that we have to remain self-critical in a very constructive way so that we can move forward as a movement. And I think one of these mistakes historically has been, one of the mistakes, it was also a value and a power, the globalization of the LGBTI movement, of course, and the women's movement. It was very important and very powerful. But I think it also weakened us a little bit, because on the sub-regional and even country level, things are so different. And over the time, we believed, because I come from Eastern Europe, and we believed that we should follow the steps of, the progressive countries and the LGBTI movement and the women's movement, whose successes in this fight started earlier. And now we just have to look at what they did, and then we do the same. Like, it's not so easy, and it's not so linear. And this is where we made a mistake. It is very, very different. And the reality is showing us this now. So I think we have to deconstruct that state of mind and do things the way they would work locally, based on the circumstances currently, but also historically, culturally. There's so much there. And I think we also have to dismantle this mindset that portrays the progressive countries as better. Because I work at ELC, I work on this regional level of Europe and Central Asia, also at the global level, and coming from Eastern Europe, I think we have so much to offer. And I think, if you ask me, in the future, the Eastern lesbian movement will be the backbone of the future. Why? Because we have been fighting for a very long time. We are a generation that does not know otherwise. When I look at the lesbians in the Western, let's say, world, they have been living for a long time in a situation of relative comfort, and they became part of the mainstream of the society with their, families, children, regular jobs, all of those things. And they are not ready for what's coming. But we are. We who come from Eastern Europe, we are ready. And we have to take over, not in an authoritarian, totalitarian way, of course, but we have to lead this fight because we have what it takes. And I think that's one of the keys to doing this. We have to stay connected. We have to learn from each other. There's so many things we can learn from each other. This will also be ELC's role, to facilitate these strategic discussions that we need to have among ourselves. And I think we need to stay visible, because our visibility and us just continuing to be stubborn and exist and be visible and be bold about who we are and our existence, I think is the best weapon that we have. Us existing and being visible, I think, is what can keep our freedom alive. And I also think that going forward, we should not be swallowed by anti-gender narratives, because we constantly think about them, we constantly analyze them. we are actually, by doing that, we're playing their game in a way, and we're being consumed by it. But I think the key is being proactive and just doing what we think is right. And I think that will be a strong move. Because we can't keep their fight, we can't keep playing their game, because the game is already rigged. We cannot win it in the way they want us to play it. And every time we get caught up in it, we lose. And yes, we of course have to build alliances which are broader than just the LGBTI movement and the women's movement. All of this is about democracy. None of us can exist in any kind of freedom, regardless if we are lesbians or someone else, if there is no democracy. And I think democracy is the biggest thing that is at stake right now. And as Olena said, we have to join those fights for democracy, for media freedoms, for those really basic things, so that we can then have an environment in which we can also fight for lesbian needs and rights. And at the very end, I want to say that it's really important to protect each other, to focus on the people. Because it's very easy, especially for an organization such as ELC, to remain abstract, to remain far removed from the community. And this cannot happen. Over the years, I think ELC managed to keep this connection with people, helping people, individual people, being where we need to be. And we will keep on doing this now more than ever. And importantly also, and I think this will be the role of ELC also in the future, is to fund the movement. We are now doing it every year. Between 1 million and 2 million euros are being distributed to lesbian organizations. That has never happened. Like, so many organizations are getting their first funds for the first time ever, even though they've existed for a long time. And we will keep on doing that as much as we can, but also moving to the system of self-reliance. My dream as an executive director of ELC is that ELC provides all of its more than 200 member organizations something that is similar to the universal basic income. That every organization gets at least 50,000 euros every year from ELC, no questions asked, and for this to stay like that forever and only grows. And we do have plans for that, and so far we've achieved everything we said we would. So I have no doubts that the future is bright for our movement, regardless of everything that's going on.
Oh my God,